Namo tassa. I just want to mention something that can make still a big difference actually at the end for your evolution and your life as far as karma and how things happen. There was a quote again today, and people forget too easily and have misconception also again about the meaning of the middle path. But that quote says that politically and basically in people's mind, the weakness of the argument has always been that those who chose the lesser evil forget very quickly that they still chose evil. And there is that French famous quote that we use in French because it rhymes. It doesn't rhyme in English, but you get the idea. And I like to use it a lot to explain that point to people, which is to say that if you steal an egg, it's the same like if you steal a cow. And that relates to the word used in the quote of lesser evil, but it's still evil. So big or small, doesn't matter, you are in that direction. I mentioned in some videos before, that's the way it works in life actually. It's very, people don't like to say, oh, this is black or white, it's not good, there's a lot of nuances in between, all the shades of gray. But actually again, that's the same weak mind that like to have excuses to justify the way that they don't strive to become better. Of course, not saying perfect, that's the argument again they like to use. Nobody is perfect, we cannot be perfect, yes, but at the same time, it's a bit too easy to always have excuses and justification for not being so good or not trying to become a better person, really to grow up again all the time. And that's the way society wants you to be, and that's why, as I mentioned in the previous videos, that the system is like that, so you can rather feel sorry for yourself and blame anything else and everybody else, and you can still stay like big babies but not really grow up, because you have to take responsibility for that. You have to develop mind discipline and to really grow, to challenge yourself, to grow in a society and a world where everything is done to make everything more comfortable and convenient. So it's very easy to just always justify the weak mind, and that's what the mind and ego are about, always justification. So, but again, as I meant, it's what gets you in either the direction or the other direction, black and white, yin and yang. And that also goes, according to the laws of nature anyway, again, positive mind, negative mind. And as I mentioned before in one video, also it goes with the wrong interpretation that I hear too many times from people about the middle path itself. And of course, again, people use too quick that umbrella expression of, well, it's middle path, right? No extreme, not too hard, not too like this or that. But again, it's not that way that it's meant to be. And that was also in the video that I made about where people really mix up the essential and the unessential, and they don't understand really the middle path that way. So the middle path is not an excuse for being bad, for being weak, and think it's okay. That's not what the middle path means. Actually, the middle path is to have a centered mind in the middle that doesn't react one way or the other, and to be able to be strongly centered and focused. But again, the main point that I want to make quick in this one is, it's not the meaning of we are just humans, and a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, it's okay, middle path. No, that's not the meaning. That's exactly the really bad excuse, but that's not the meaning of middle path. And as I explained before in a more rational way, if you want to understand it, it's very simple again. If you can spend more than 50% of the time of your life thinking good, with good intention, doing good, and developing that mindset, as I meant, of trying to improve yourself, challenging yourself to develop discipline, and doing good and not being weak, then if it's more than 50% of the time, then you are more on the right direction, and ultimately your life can improve and your karma will improve. But if you are actually spending less than 50% of the time that way, and you would rather react with the kilesa, or react in anger or hatred or jealousy or envy or greed to some situation, and you feel sorry for yourself so much of the time, and you like to complain and all of this, and you wish this and you wish that, and basically you don't have the right intentions, and you do some things that are not right according to the 5 precepts, for example, but you're like, I'm just human, it's okay, middle path, and you use it as a bad excuse, then of course your life is going to get worse and worse, more suffering, and your karma is going to be worse. And that's just the law of nature. But again, people like to think they know better. They always have the right excuses to justify their wrong actions or weak actions or bad actions. And again, people are aware of it, which is amazing. As humans, you are human. Most of the time, you are, at some point you can be aware of the things that you do that are not good, just like lying politicians. Politicians, so many of them are compulsive liars, and they know that they are lying, but it's like, I can't help it, because they are very weak-minded, of course, very primitively minded, very immature. So, but if you know that you're doing that, then of course you can't expect your karma to become better. As long as you don't have the motivation to become a better person as a constant in your life, to grow up, to develop a strong mind, to be just better human being with a better mindset, like a more positive mindset, good intention, focusing on that, on doing good, thinking good, then that's the one direction. So little or big is just about how quick you get there, but it's that one direction. So it's not again, to say that, it was a little bit bad, it was not a huge mistake that I make, it was, no, bad is bad and good is good that way. Again, people want to have philosophical debates on what is good and what is bad in life, and that, again, equanimity is supposed to be acceptance of that, everything, yes, but now we are talking about intentions and control of the mind, and that is actually what will decide your future anyway, and your future lives, and your future karma in general. So that is up to you, and there's no good excuse about, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, sorry, I did that, but I know when I do this it's not good, but it's not such a big deal. Always the weak ego mind has always the justification for not being good. That's exactly what to be weak and ignorant is about. So if you can develop a strong mind in a way of challenging yourself to grow up really and to become a wiser human being with good intention, with focusing on the good in what you do and what you think, you will see how much your life will improve so much.